Wait, go back. The image flashed again. This time, Takoda Blackwood didn't look away. Who is she? No one answered. The room felt heavier. His voice dropped, calm but dangerous. Find her. Pause. Then. Bring her to me. Silence swallowed the room. Drop a comment right now. Where are you watching from? And if this kind of story pulls you in, hit subscribe and like, because this one only gets deeper. Takoda Blackwood wasn't a man who chased anything. He owned it. Companies, cities, people's futures. Well, that was a distraction he buried years ago. Yet here he was, staring at a girl he had never met. Sir, his assistant said carefully, we'll need more than just a photo. Takoda finally leaned back, eyes still locked on the screen. Then get more. There's no name attached. No verified source. Then create one. The assistant hesitated. Sir, we don't even know where to start. Takoda's gaze lifted slowly. Start everywhere. That was all it took. Across the city, systems were breached, records were pulled, and lives were quietly investigated. All for one girl. Miles away, Aiyana adjusted the stack of books in her hands and nudged the door open with her shoulder. You're late, her father said from across the room. She smiled faintly. The bus broke down. Again. That thing is older than me. And still more reliable than you, she teased. He chuckled, then coughed lightly. Aiyana's smile faded just a little, but she hid it fast. I brought your medicine, she said, setting the books aside. You worry too much. Someone has to. She moved around the small room with quiet efficiency. Nothing fancy. Nothing easy. But everything she touched mattered. Back in his glass tower, Takoda stood motionless as files began to flood in. Sir, we may have something, the assistant said, stepping in quickly. Takoda didn't turn. Speak. Her name is Aiyana. No last name confirmed yet. She lives in a low-income district. No major digital footprint. Takoda's eyes narrowed slightly. Family? Just her father. He's been ill for years. Income? Minimal. She works part-time. Helps in a local school when she can. Takoda finally turned. And this is the girl in the photo? Yes, sir. He stared at the screen again. Same eyes. Same calm strength. Same feeling he couldn't explain. Dig deeper, he said. We already are, sir. No, Takoda replied, his voice sharpening. You're still scratching the surface. The assistant swallowed. There's one more thing. Takoda's expression didn't change. Say it. We found a connection. It's old, but it's there. Explain. The assistant hesitated, then continued. About 10 years ago, a small family-owned company collapsed after a corporate takeover. Takoda's eyes darkened slightly. And? The acquisition was led by Blackwood Industries. Silence. The air shifted. Go on, Takoda said quietly. The company belonged to her father. That landed. Art. Takoda turned back to the window, his reflection staring at him. So, he said slowly, she knows who I am. We're not sure, sir. Find out. Hours later, Aiyana stepped outside, pulling her jacket tighter as the evening wind picked up. Aiyana, her neighbor called. You heading out again? Just to get dinner? You don't rest, do you? She smiled faintly. Rest doesn't pay bills. As she walked down the street, a black car rolled slowly behind her, then stopped. A man stepped out. Miss Aiyana? She turned cautious. Yes. You've been requested. Her eyes narrowed slightly. Requested? Yes. By who? A man who doesn't usually ask twice. She almost laughed. Then he should learn how. The man didn't react. You can refuse. Good. But I wouldn't recommend it. That made her pause. Why? Because he already knows everything about you. Her grip tightened slightly on her bag. What does he want? To meet you. Aiyana studied him carefully. Then exhaled. Fine, she said. But I'm not promising anything. The next day she stepped into a building that didn't feel real. Everything was too quiet. Too clean. Too controlled. Takoda stood near the window, hands behind his back. When the door opened, he turned. And just like that, the moment finally happened. You wanted to see me? Aiyana said calmly. Takoda stepped closer. Yes. Why? He didn't answer immediately. Because the moment he had imagined didn't feel the same in reality. It felt heavier. I saw your photo, he said finally. And that was enough to drag me here? She asked. I needed to meet you. She folded her arms. That's not a reason. It is to me. Aiyana shook her head slightly. You're used to people doing what you say, aren't you? Takoda didn't deny it. Yes. Well, she said, holding his gaze, I'm not one of them. That hit differently. Most people don't speak to me like that, he said. Most people are afraid of you. And you're not. She didn't blink. Should I be? Silence. Takoda studied her carefully. No, he said quietly. You shouldn't. Aiyana tilted her head slightly. Then why am I here? He stepped closer. Because I want you to stay. Her expression changed instantly. Stay. Yes. With you? She asked, disbelief clear in her voice. Yes. She let out a soft laugh. You don't even know me. I will. And what if I don't want that? Takoda didn't hesitate. I'll convince you. That was the moment everything shifted. Aiyana's eyes hardened. You already have. Takoda frowned slightly. What does that mean? She took a step closer. Close enough now. Close enough for him to see the anger behind her calm. I know who you are, she said. Silence. And I know what you did. Takoda's chest tightened slightly. My family lost everything because of you. The air changed instantly. Completely. And just like that, the girl he couldn't stop thinking about became the one person who had every reason to hate him. Takoda didn't move. For a man who controlled everything, this moment felt unfamiliar, unstable. You're wrong, he said quietly. Aiyana's expression didn't change. Am I? That acquisition saved thousands of jobs. And destroyed mine, she shot back. My father built that business from nothing. You erased it like it meant nothing. Takoda's jaw tightened. That's how business works. No, she said sharply. That's how you work. Silence pressed in. Is that why you brought me here? She continued. To show me how powerful you are? No, Takoda said. I brought you here because I couldn't stop thinking about you. That's not my problem. It is now. Her eyes flashed. Don't do that. Do what? Talk like I owe you something. Takoda stepped closer. You don't owe me anything. Good, she said. Because you're not getting anything either. She turned. Wait. She stopped but didn't look back. You can walk out, Takoda said. I won't stop you. Then what's the point of all this? She asked. He hesitated. I want to fix it. Aiyana let out a short, tired laugh. You think money fixes everything? No, he said. But I'll do whatever it takes. She finally turned, eyes steady. Then start by leaving me alone. That hit harder than anything else. It wasn't anger. It was rejection without emotion. She walked out. And this time, Takoda didn't follow. Back home, Aiyana pushed the door open harder than she meant to. Her father looked up. You're back early? Yeah. What happened? She dropped her bag. Nothing. That didn't sound like nothing. She sat down, rubbing her temples. Just someone from the past. Good someone or bad someone? She didn't answer. Meanwhile, high above the city, Takoda stood alone in his office. She walked out, his assistant said carefully. I saw. Do you want us to bring her back? Takoda's eyes flickered. Then he shook his head. No. The assistant blinked. Sir? If she comes back, Takoda said slowly, it will be because she chooses to. That answer spread through the room like shock. Days passed. No calls. No messages. But something inside Takoda didn't go back to normal. Sir, the board is waiting, his assistant reminded. Takoda walked into the meeting without his usual presence. This acquisition, one executive said, will triple our revenue. And shut down 3 smaller companies, Takoda replied. They're insignificant. Takoda looked up. No one is insignificant. The room went quiet. Sir. With respect, that's not how we've ever operated. It is now. Pause. Is this about her? Someone asked. Takoda didn't answer. But the silence said everything. Back in Aiyana's world, reality didn't pause. Bill stacked. Medicine ran low. Her father's condition worsened. You should accept help if it comes, her neighbor said. I don't want charity. What if it's not charity? Aiyana didn't respond. Because deep down, she knew exactly who it would be. That night she walked into the house and stopped. The lights were on. Everything was running. She froze. Dad, how did you pay the electricity? He looked confused. I thought you did. Her stomach tightened. She rushed to the table. The medical bills paid. All of them. Her hands clenched. No. She stepped outside immediately, dialing the one number she never saved, but never forgot. Takoda answered instantly. You did this, she said. Yes. I told you to leave me alone. I didn't come near you. That's not the point. Then what is? She paused, because she didn't know how to explain it. I don't want your help. Then give it back. Silence. You can't, Takoda continued, because it's already helping you. That doesn't make it right. No, he said. But it makes it necessary. Her voice dropped. Why are you doing this? A long pause. Then. Because I owe you. And you think this clears it? No. Then stop. I can't. Why not? Takoda exhaled slowly. Because for the first time in my life, I don't want to be the man you think I am. That hit. Aiyana didn't reply. She just ended the call. If you're still watching, this is where it gets real. Hit that like button, and tell me in the comments, would you forgive him? Days later, everything exploded. Takoda stood in front of cameras. I made decisions in the past that hurt people, he said. And I'm taking responsibility. The room erupted with questions. Stocks dropped. Partners panicked. But Takoda didn't stop. Back home, Aiyana watched in silence. He's changing, her father said quietly. She shook her head. People like him don't change. Maybe you're wrong. She didn't answer, because something didn't feel the same anymore. That evening, a knock. She opened the door. Takoda stood there. No security. No distance. Just him. You shouldn't be here, she said. I know. Then why are you? He met her eyes. Because this time, I'm not asking you to stay. She frowned slightly. Then what are you doing? I'm saying goodbye. That caught her off guard. I've done enough damage, Takoda continued. You were right about me. Silence. I don't expect forgiveness, he added. And I won't interfere again. He turned and started to walk away. For a moment, Aiyana said nothing. Then, wait. He stopped, slowly turned back. What changed? She asked. Takoda gave a small, almost broken smile. You did. The air shifted. Not tension. Not anger. Something quieter. Real. You're just going to walk away? She asked. If that's what you want. And if I don't know what I want? Then I'll still walk away, he said. Because this time, it's your choice. A long silence followed. Then Aiyana stepped aside. Come in. Takoda didn't move immediately. You're giving me a chance? He asked. She shook her head slightly. I'm giving you time. He stepped inside. Carefully. Like a man entering a world he didn't deserve. And for the first time in his life, Takoda Blackwood didn't try to control what happened next. If you made it this far, subscribe for more stories like this, and tell me below, did she make the right choice or should she have walked away?